What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast, episode number 71. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about and with a bunch of different college coaches from across the area at the Division 1, 2, and 3 level. Super excited to release this, guys. It's been a lot of work, a lot of fun talking to all these different coaches from around the area. Super excited to get into it. But if you haven't already, go back, check out my long form interviews that I released this summer. Joe Marcara, Mackenzie McGuire, Ty McGeary, and just recently Rob Walker, who I just sat down with, episode number 70. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, go back and check out those long form episodes. I really enjoyed having those guys over. And coaches, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, taking time out of your busy schedule this time of year. I know it's a lot, sitting down and talking about your squad. But yeah, man, a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy this edition of the NCAA preview, brought to you by Switch Custom Apparel. All right, our next guest on the show is Matt Hill, head coach of Edinboro University. Matt, how are you, sir?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing real good indeed. So pumped up to have you on. Always good to have a Freedom Boy on the show. Obviously, up there in Edinboro, we have so much to get into. You have a ton of Whippio boys that are committing to your program. But let's start it off like this, man. How's the off-season program going?
We're gearing up for the season. First day of practice will be here next Tuesday. Guys are in really good shape right now. Just trying to build them up into good college wrestlers. So it's going to take some time. Need some matches. Need some experience. And some of these guys had some really good summers. We had a bigger freshman class come in, so a lot of our guys are new to the program and they're learning the ropes and trying to figure out how to become Division I college wrestlers.
All right, buddy. I looked down your roster, and especially like the last couple weeks, years, whatever, you seem to like start putting your claws in on the Whippio a little bit. A couple Burgettstown guys, Anthony Ferraro. I mean, you're starting to get some Whippio boys up there in the borough. Um, Talk about that. Is that a point of emphasis for you guys?
Yeah, I mean the guys that you're talking about that are seniors still, I can't talk about really currently, by their names. But the guys we have on our roster right now, they're working hard. As Whitfield guys are always good go-to wrestlers that everybody in the country wants. Everybody wants tough Whitfield guys, so. It's a no-brainer to pull kids from that area, and a lot of them really pan out in the college Division I level, or actually any level, it doesn't matter. But a lot of them pan out, and we're happy to have a few, and happy to gradually get more of them through the recruiting process as well.
All right. Next thing I got to ask you, coach, is even with you, the recruiting process has changed so much over the last few years. What does your roster look like, high school recruits versus transfer portal? And how has your process changed over the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I talked to other college coaches about this too, colleagues, and kind of gotta, every year, you want one or two impact guys maybe from the portal if you can. I think there's a lot of guys, a lot of teams out there that if they have a slot or an area of interest or need, they go out and try to find a guy for the portal. And I think as a small school, we're trying to do the same thing, regardless if it's a returning All-American or a stud recruit that, we try to get and they went somewhere else. And then a year later, they're in the portal and we're trying to build that relationship back with them and give them be fighting Scott. So I think everybody's, you got about 80% of the guys that you recruited homegrown, got them from high school, brought them in, to your program as freshmen. And then the other 20% or 15% on your starting roster might be, transfers. And I would say that's probably the model a lot of people are doing. Some might have year to year might have four guys in their lineup that are transfers, and that's just the way it is. So, or there might be a team that has none. It just all depends on year to year basis. And with COVID, there's been a lot of opportunities for guys to be grad transfers, and we have a few of those guys with Luke Kemmer, and Jared McGill will be one of those soon. But Jared came in more so as a sophomore. But that 6 year is gonna create that opportunity for guys to stick around, get their grad degree, and wrestle another year.
Love that. Love that. All right. What does your coaching staff look like going into this year?
Yeah, so we have Ernest James. He's the man, Big E, we call him. He wrestled at Edinboro here. He's a bigger guy. He's the heavyweight coach, 97, 84 pounder. He's focused on those guys a lot, but you can't find a more honest, reliable, hardworking guy out there. So I'm so happy to have Ernest. And then we got we're a smaller program. We don't have fully funded assistants. But we got a guy coming from Chris Shears. He's about 45, 46 years old. He was a 3-time All-American at Ashland. He lives locally. He's putting more time into coaching realm. So he's going to be helping us out a lot this year as one of our assistants. And then we have Tyler Vass back again. He'll be helping out as one of our other assistants. He wrestled here at Edinboro. He's a Sagertown guy, local, so he's a good, reliable resource, for our lighter weights and middle weights. And then we also have Cody Mulligan. He actually has a year of eligibility, but he's
Another Sagertown guy, right?
Yeah, so we're living local, trying to help out, get as many resources as we can with the local tough kids, and we're trying to build from the ground up.
Little known fact that not a lot of people know: Spencer Lee was originally from Sagertown. Newsflash.
Yes, he was.
All right. Next thing I have for you, Coach. What does your schedule look like? Obviously, it's a little bit different. You guys are trying to peak for nationals for the end of the year. How do you build your squad specifically to try to prepare them for that time?
So we're starting off with the Clarion Open. It's one of those things. It's actually going to be pretty tough. You got Purdue and Ohio State there. Pitt's going to have a lot of their guys there.
Yeah, they send all their open guys, right? Just let's throw them out there.
Yeah, so with the new red shirt rule too, a lot of teams are picking up opens the first couple of weeks of their roster, so they can get a good battle test out of all those freshmen coming in, and because they can't compete in any outside competition until after the final grades come out. So it's a good local open, and Keith Ferraro does a really good job over there putting a good tournament on, and we'll be over there to start the week off. And we actually picked up a late Big Ten matchup with Ohio State our second week. So we'll be traveling down to Columbus facing Ohio State the second week of the schedule. And coincidentally, you're actually allowed to do 2 competitions in one day. So we're actually going to split the squad and send like a lot of our freshmen stuff to the Ohio Open over at Case Western in Ohio by Cleveland. Third week's a Navy Classic. Then we have Rutgers coming in right after that in early December. We have a pretty big break from Rutgers up to, we do a little tour up in Long Island in the New England area. We have Sacred Heart, Long Island University, and Hofstra on a little weekend trip right before Christmas. And then we host an open. We have SIU coming in, and then we kind of head right into our MAC schedule. We'll have the Edinboro Open as always, the first weekend of February, and one of the bigger matches we'll have. We're actually going to head to State College and wrestle Penn State the last weekend of competition before the.
Damn, buddy, you're going to Ohio State and Penn State. That's no joke.
Oh yeah, we're right in the middle of those two, so we got to go have some fun.
Love that. All right, man. Next question I have for you before we kind of wrap it up. What's women's wrestling look like? What's the status for that for Edinboro University?
It's funny you ask that. Like, I got little kids that are in wrestling, and we got all these youth tournaments and all these, little dual meet things, and there's so many girls involved in the sport. We run a breakfast club now. Me and Jim Beach, we both, I don't know if you know Jim.
Yep.
He lives in Edinboro, so his boys and my boys, and then we got 5 or 6 girls down there tumbling and having fun. So it's a growing opportunity for everybody, and especially for the sport of wrestling. So My athletic director has mentioned a few times. I think it's a no-brainer. If we're going to add sports and grow our athletic department, we should look into women's wrestling. It's not expensive to add. It's not, the groundwork's already there and the infrastructure is already there. We just got to get a coach and get some resources, and I think we can make it happen here in Edinboro. So I'd love to have the opportunity to help out and grow the sport even more.
Okay, Coach. What's streaming look like for you? Do you have availability to watch your matches on a consistent basis?
Yeah, we will be going through Flow Wrestling, so we have a contract with them. So we'll go with pretty much everything that we have going on. The opens are still up in the air. We're not 100% sure on the opens yet, but essentially we'll be every dual meet will be streamed on Flow Wrestling.
Love that. All right, Coach. Anything you have for us before we leave you go?
No, appreciate you having me. Watch out for the Fighting Scots. Got a young, exciting squad, and looking to keep building and recruiting. Get some recruiting updates when I'm allowed to talk about it. So go
Keep pumping those Whipio boys, brother. I love that.
Oh yeah, I'm on it. I'll be down there checking out some football games too soon. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Later.